Hello everybody, this is Toysareruss, and for this third-party figure showcase and review, we're going to be looking at the Newage Legendary Heroes take on a Generation 1 twincast figure. So, as you can see, I've got loads out of here ready for some comparisons. We're first and foremost going to compare him with the original owner of the mould, which was their take on a blaster figure. We've then got the Hasbro Legacy and Kingdom versions of said figures to do some comparisons with that. We've then also got the original, again, Generation 1 and Japanese versions of these figures, just to suppose show you how much better, how the engineering has improved over 40 odd years. And we'll have a quick look at some of the tapes as well, and indeed some other new age figures, just to give you an idea of how they all scale together. So before we get started, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please. And also to thank Show Z, because that's where this came from. And there's a direct link in the description if you want to get one for yourself. So here we go, guys. So for those of you who don't know, yes, he is called Frequency. He's not called Twincast. He's not allowed to be called Twincast because he transforms, and New Age aren't licensed by Hasbro or Takara to make transforming figures, even though we can tell straight away that it is a Generation 1 twincast figure. So he comes with steel jaw. I don't know if they've changed the names, but I'm going to be referring to them as their, of course, Hasbro names or Takara names. But we've got as I say, it comes with steel jaw and eject. I think I might have just mixed them up, whereas the other one comes with either rewind or ram horn. I'm going to get crucified for getting them mixed up, but I've just had a general little memory blank there right in front of you guys. But I'm going to carry on anyway. So he comes packaged in his robot mode. There's 2 cassettes there, and he also comes with quite a few accessories, because that's the other thing that I suppose third-party companies do. They do come with an abundance of accessories. Now in this particular case, it's clever, but it's cheeky, and it's not sort of fair, but it's the same as what every company's doing. If we're being completely honest, the only way for you to get all of the cassettes is to collect both of these, as I say. So it seems to be a widespread thing through all companies, so everybody is very, very guilty of it. There's not much to discuss about the tape deck mode, so this won't take too long, because most kids, unless they watch Transformers, won't even know what a boombox or a tape deck is nowadays, and that's exactly what this is. None of the buttons work. They are, of course, all molded in. To give you an idea, I suppose, compared to a core class, that's your core class sound blaster, and it's not much bigger than that. It's far more intricate, and funnily enough, this costs more than more than the Voyager class, but again, that's down to the engineering and the fact that there's die cast in here. But as I was saying, there's not much to discuss about this particular mode. It's not like the Hasbro one, you know, where you can attach the weapons to the back, you know, to be like a faux antenna or whatever. Nothing sort of moves. These do spin around, but that is just for transformation. You can open the tape deck to open it up, but they are guilty here. The whole purpose of Twincast, for those of you who don't know Japanese continuity, the purpose of Twincast was the fact that he was able to store 2 cassettes in it. Now, not just the New Age, lots of companies are guilty of this, but if I show you the tape deck there of Blaster, the G1, and there's the tape deck of Twincast, that is because he was able to fit 2 cassettes in, and that was basically one of the main purposes of his upgrade, and it's been, again, missed out in this particular version of him. You can put the cassettes in, but they are, and I don't know why I've put that in, quite difficult in some cases to get out, and I'm just going to prove that. Oh, there we go, not too bad on camera. You've got some lovely translucent red plastic there. It is, as I say, oh, that's popped off again. It's just a straight up redeco of this. That's got different plastic in it, or it's not painted. There's no differences that I've found at all. I've just, as I say, the fact that they are completely different colors, but again, they've kept the tape deck the same. There we go. Anyway, let's bring in just for some size comparisons then. So this is Kingdom stroke Legacy, because he's had 2 releases. I know it's obviously Blaster, but I've only got the one version of Twincast in Legacy, and that, as I say, is the Generation 1. So this is just it's just for a bit of fun, but it's also to show you, I suppose, how much engineering's improved over the space of 40 years to get from that to either one of these. To be honest, this one is slightly more impressive due to what you'll see again in robot mode, but once again, as I said in the earlier, it is all reflected in price. So it's one of the things, you get what you pay for. Hasbro do it when they put Hot Rod and Ironhide at Voyager class price points, just because there's extra bits of articulation. These guys are no different. They're pretty much exactly the same. There's a Studio Series 86 Rumble, just to give you an idea of size. These really are very, very small indeed. again, not much more to say about this particular mode. Let's get him in his robot mode and you'll see exactly what I'm on about and see why they are dubbed mini masterpiece figures. Right, then we're back. He's in his robot mode, and this is where you're going to see where they get their name mini masterpieces from, because there's so much going on with this little bot. So there he is, just by himself, to his articulation. In fact, the detail on his head is brilliant. We can spin the head around. You can see it's on like a mushroom or a ball and socket. It will look up and down as well. These shoulders will go all the way out to the side. They will go all the way around. You've got a cut at the top of the shoulder, a bicep double bend there as well. You've also got the full wrist rotation, and you can of course change. In fact, we'll do that. We'll take the fists out and then we'll show you something in a second. You've got a waist rotation, which is fantastic. You have a genuine ab crunch. You can see that there. That is nothing to do with transformation. That's a genuine ab crunch. The legs will kick all the way up, go all the way back, come all the way out to the side, thigh cut, knee bend, ankle tilt, rock, toe tap, everything super articulated. And once again, this is where they get their name mini masterpiece from. They also come with quite a lot of accessories as well, to be fair. We could if we wanted to, but I never tend to use these, I've been super honest. The open hands, now again, you know that they're going to have wrist articulation and movement because you can just see they're going to be attached on. I'll put these back on again in a second to put his blaster in. We've also got pointing fingers. We've got two little weapons for one of the cassettes. And of course, we've got the speakers. So very simply, you can pop these into the ports like so. There you go. And you can, of course, I don't ever remember Twincast doing that in the cartoon, to be honest, but of course it's just because you can get them in the gold, which of course would be used for this guy, which we'll have a look at again in a second. So the fact that you can do that again is just a lovely little bonus. What I do like about these, I have to admit, what I do like about them is they do come with quite a lot of things, and I think most people who are going to be buying these, to be honest, they're going to be adult collectors anyway. So anybody who's doing photos and stuff like that, it's going to really work and look pretty good. Right, before we do the other, let's have a quick go at doing these. I'm probably going to jinx myself and not be able to do them, but I'd like to think that it's not too difficult. So these are the two little cassettes, but again, with these, the intricacy on them is crazy. It looks like the legs are all going to fold out. Yeah, it's not as difficult as I thought it was perhaps going to be. Some of them are. Some of the new age ones, again, for no reason, are insanely difficult. Turn that around. Is it? Let's bring the head out. Yeah, there we go. Bring these forward and then lift that up. There we go. So there is Steeljaw, or not Steeljaw, whatever he's called. Rotate them around. That's tiny. That really is super small. In fact, to give you an idea, there is Earthrise Ravage, who is massive compared to him. There you go. And there is, of course, their version of Ramhorn that came with blaster. Right, let's just move him out of the way. This guy is it's eject. It's definitely eject. The one in black is rewind. I've completely remembered, so hopefully I got that right in the first part. I'll have to double check in a second myself. So rotate rotate the waist that way, rotate the the knee joint. You can see there's ball and sockets everywhere on these, even though they're absolutely tiny. There's ball and socket joints, swivel hips, everything. It's crazy. So that's got an actual waist rotation and I suppose an ab crunch as well. Right, let's get him in the correct orientation, because I just very quickly want to give him his little blasters as well, which is great. There we go, and that's going to go in there, so that's going to look pretty good. The scale of these are tiny, absolutely tiny. Oh, I've got the leg the wrong way around, but you can see there, you can turn the feet on the outside as well. So let's pop him there. There you go. That's an idea of how much bigger he is compared to that particular one. Right, let's move him out of the way. In fact, funnily enough, I've got a tiny little blocky as well there, and even the tiny little blocky is totally towering above him. Let's move these out of the way, because it's not about these, it's about these guys. So you could see exactly what I just said in the first part. No differences, just colour differences. Everything seems to look exactly the same, like that. Perfect. Let's bring in, first and foremost, let's bring Optimus in, or David as his name is, with regards to New Age, so you can see how he scales with that. This is an Iron Factory Kill Bison. So again, these are known as Legends scale figures. That's what I was supposed to bring in. To give you an idea of scale and size, Very, very small compared to mainline, and especially as that guy's classed as a Voyager, I'm going to have to pan totally up now just to get twin cast in. Let's bring him in there. I'm going to move all these around, and wow, look at that, he's not going to fit in at all. You've got to go all the way up to there. So let's move these out of the way, all of the other ones that we don't really need just for now. In fact, just because he's here, that's core class Starscream, so he's not much bigger than a core class. Most of these New Age figures tend to, depending on how big they are, tend to come in a little bit bigger than core, but not as big in most cases as deluxe, as you can see there, because of course Hound is quite a small deluxe figure. So yeah, it's just a bit bigger than core, to be fair. And as I say, for the articulation in him, that is why they are dubbed, I'm dropping everything here, as mini masterpiece figures. The detail, I think, to be honest, is pretty much exactly the same as what you've got on here, apart from you haven't got an ab crunch on there. I must have put the wrong gun on, because that shouldn't be that colour at all. It should be the red, which you can see there, and that's pretty much a carbon copy of it, apart from the hole in the middle. And yeah, not much more else to say. As I say, if you've already seen the Louis review, which is of course the name for Blaster, this guy is, as we've already discussed, no different whatsoever. In fact, he might scale pretty well with that guy. He will do. There you go. Anyway, guys, honestly, nothing more to say about that. You can also check out the transformation process. I've done the reverse one because the other one is in the instructions. I've done the reversed one for him so you can see how the transformation process works. That's separately uploaded. Let me know what you think in the comments, and of course, take care.